Vossi,
Yes.
who is in our Winter 2020 photography show. Can you tell us about your background?
No, I have actually, I would say, two different backgrounds. So I was born in the former Soviet Union, lived in Riga, Latvia, the first 43 years of my life, and I was mathematician. I was professor of mathematics there, and when I came to this country, I also, about the first 5 years of my life here was in academia. The first 3, by the way, here in Radius University,
Oh, very
working
nice.
as a professor of mathematics. But then, academia is a very specific place. You must have a tenured position there, then you are very good. And if you have a non-tenured position there, then you are not very good. So anyway, as a result, I switched to computer programming, and after that I worked as a computer programmer in a number of mostly financial institutions like Merrill Lynch, TD Ameritrade, Brown Brothers, Harriman, and so on.
Very cool. Very cool. Do you want to tell us what got you in pursuing art seriously?
No, people are different. Some people more towards performing arts, some people a little bit more tend towards visual arts. I was always maybe from my childhood, more interested in visual arts of any sort. As to the music and so on, I was so-so. No, again, it doesn't mean that I'm very proud of it, but it is what it is. So, and I began to do photography on the purely, let's say, recreational level when I was about probably your age or even earlier. And simply was making pictures. And at some point, especially when I was with the group of my friends, my hobby was hiking and going to mountains, climb and so on. We all made a lot of pictures, each one of us. I somehow noticed that my picture looks, I like them, they are cool, but pictures of other people are cooler.
Yeah.
Why their pictures are cooler than mine? Where is the reason? And I began to think about it. And as a result, I began to realize that there is more to photography than simply pointing, shooting. Began to develop, and also my how to interest to various visual arts form helped me, and that's the result how I began to take photography more and more seriously, I believe about the last 10, 12 years.
Very cool. You did go a little bit into it, but can you tell me about how your art making process, both the thinking and the execution?
No, my art making process. It is a very general question. No, first of all, I will not speaking about art in general. I will speak specific about photography because it's my field.
Yeah, of course.
So, in photography, the process of making a picture, a piece of art photography is, for me, it is three main stages. One stage, you make a picture. That's all. The second stage, you post-process it. So you sit at the computer and try to make from this shot something different, something better, improve it in some way.
Yeah.
And very often you don't know in advance what will be, but when you start playing with it, then something is coming. This picture is an example, for example. Because as you can understand, probably it is not like it looks in the real life,
Yeah.
a little bit abstract, whatever. And the third stage is printing. So from the beginning, I realized that I don't have time, energy, and desire to concentrate on each of these three stages, because simply you don't you usually like one. So printing, I'm not doing my printing because it is requires to do a good print. You requires a big shop, and it is although it is a serious thing, very serious and important. It is less creative than the previous two.
Yeah.
You simply so I usually send it to some shop, but out of the remaining two stages, first and second, I think I believe I'm better in the second than in the, not because I want to, but as a photographer, I still have a lot to learn. I'm not doing photos, original shots as well as I could do it. Don't know why. Maybe everybody has its own limitations and strengths and so on. But when I'm looking at this image at the computer, I usually can find a way to make something something good of something not very good. So therefore, I'm spending with Photoshop and similar things a lot of time.
Cool. So what is something you hope the viewer takes away from your artwork?
What the viewer will take away?
Yeah. What do you
Better
want
to
them get
ask.
out of it?
It is better to ask the viewers because, frankly speaking, every viewer is different, and one will take away one thing, one another. No, if, for example, if my image, if my piece will show them something which they seemingly saw many times before, but never saw it in this particular way, that would be great.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, it is very individual, and it varies from one viewer to another. For example, again, because we see this picture, let's speak about it. Not with the same success, we could speak about any other. Of this series, I like this picture most.
It's very
But
good.
when your colleague asked me to put one of my pictures on this tripod, I said, let's make you your own selection. And he looked into all of them and selected exactly this one. so this tells me that probably it is indeed the best. Also, everybody is different.
Yeah,
yes.
of course.
So in this particular piece, so I made a photograph. It is a Hudson Yard development in New York City. Very beautiful, interesting new architecture. Perfectly seen from even from the opposite side of Hudson and so on. And I think architecturally it can compete with New World Trade Center area architecturally. And the shot is directly up. It was done in the bright day. A little bit cloudy, but dry. And the result was a bit cloudy and boring. So first of all, as with many photographs of architecture, I noticed that architecture looks very well in black and white.
Oh yeah. You can definitely see all the difference in the
Yeah,
light.
especially when the colors, in this case, it was again a little bit cloudy day, so the colors were not interesting.
Yeah.
So I converted it to black and white. Then I began to think and decided let's go further and to convert day into night. So in a sense, also, in my opinion, very well architecture looks on a black background.
Yeah.
So that is the result. The result is such a looks like it is night, although it is day, and a little bit abstract feeling.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was the process, and I'm glad that at least one person liked it.
Very great.
No, the first time I learned about this art gallery about a year and a little bit more before. And it was very simply, I got an invitation from Andrew Darloff, who is the juror of your photography exhibition. Simply invitation to bring a series of pictures and participate. That's how I came here. So I brought the picture, which was absolutely diametrically different than this series. That series was called Latin American Kaleidoscope. Also 6 pictures made in Latin America, very colorful. It is kaleidoscope of various colors, people, crowds, dresses, buildings, and so on. So hard to imagine that after that I brought black and white, were all straight lines and so on. But that was, at that time, it was my stage. And it was all successful because I got the first prize there, so very nice, pleasant.
Yeah, good job.
So as a result, my interest in Alpha Gallery naturally increased. And one good thing, the participation here is free for participants. It is not always the case.
Yes.
It's a small thing, but still pleasant. So that is probably explains, and the good thing here about this exhibition, which once a year is a photography exhibition here, approximately in January, that here you can present not one picture, but usually a series. And nowadays I'm already in the stage when I usually more interested in places when I can show some body of work. Maybe not big, in this case it was 6 pictures, so, but it is.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for your time. You can view more of his artwork or any work of other artists at our website at alphaart.org. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.